My name is Amandeep Gill. I'm India's permanent representative to the Conference on Disarmament in Geneva. And currently I'm chairing the Group of Governmental Experts on emerging technologies related to lethal autonomous weapon systems. This group has been set up in the context of a convention on certain conventional weapons, CCW, which is focused on prohibitions or restrictions on certain weapons, conventional weapons, that may deem to be excessively injurious or may have indiscriminate effects on civilians. So we'll have a first meeting of this group of governmental experts this November. It has been preceded by 3 years of relatively informal discussions among experts. So we have a basis on which to build. The GGE is planning to address this issue in 3 dimensions: the technology dimension, the military effects dimension, and the legal and ethical dimension. This would give us a shared understanding of the state of the art on the technology, its military implications, and what are the possible legal and ethical concerns and how they could be addressed within the existing legal framework of IHL and within existing efforts on national regulation, industry self-regulation, etc. My hope is that the GGE will have a high quality dialogue on these issues, will involve all stakeholders, in particular civil society and industry, and would develop a better understanding of the nature of the problem. I think we cannot come to the stage of examining solutions if we do not have our diagnosis right, if we don't have the right appreciation of the problem. Now, once we've done that and we have developed momentum in our discussions, then we can start looking at various ways to frame the issue, whether we should have definitions or we should not have definitions, what kind of definitions, and so on. Because once we get to that stage, then we are already narrowing the line of sight to policy pathways. And that would, of course, be premature at this point in time, but that should certainly come at the next stage in our discussions. That's a very good question. I think the arms control community, the disarmament community, even the humanitarian international humanitarian law community needs to update itself conceptually and in terms of the changing nature of the field that we deal with because of these technology shifts. And this updating needs to happen in the way we discuss these issues. And that's why I mentioned the need to bring in more stakeholders from industry in particular. It also needs to happen in the way in which we think of solutions, because arms control experts have a tendency to look at discrete items like tanks, nuclear weapons, missiles, and to think about ways of regulating them, controlling them, prohibiting them. We are not yet comfortable dealing with broad technology shifts where it just as in the cyber domain, we've been struggling for several years with definitions, with what forum to deal with, what kind of policy regulation. Similarly, in this area, we are struggling, and I think I am very encouraged by the recent feedback I have had through my consultations. I think the community realizes that it needs to work in an interdisciplinary manner with other experts, and that it needs to have a high quality dialogue, because that's what the rest of the international community is waiting for.